What is normal in your country but seems weird to the rest of the world? Golden Gay Time. Okay. You're going to have to explain. It is an ice cream in Australia. Called Golden Gay Time as in Golden Happy Time. It is pretty delish. Also on their packaging, it says, it's hard to have a gay time by yourself, and 4 delicious chances to have a gay time. Calling a traffic light a robot. South Africa? I moved to Namibia from Canada years ago and people kept saying, just head to the top of the hill and turn left at the robots. It took me about 3 months to stop looking for weird robot signs or statues. 'Cause that's what I figured they were getting at. Having spaghetti in McDonald's. Is this a thing only in the Philippines? That's hilarious. Every nation has its local dishes at McDonald's though. We have the McCrocket. Men holding hands in public as a display of friendship is normal in Afghanistan but super weird in the West. I think it's normal in most of the Middle East and India. Moderately normal for Bangladesh as well. Putting cable ties, branches, fake eyes etc. on helmets. Buckets and hats in springtime to scare away the birds. Magpies are vicious BTRs. Putting broken glass bottles on the walls around your house so burglars can't jump it and rob you. I moved to Canada and they don't even have walls around the houses. All of Latin America. Whole restaurants cheering when a plate or glass is smashed, UK. Once was in a Canadian restaurant on holiday and a waiter dropped a tray of glasses. The local looked horrified when I was out of my seat screaming, "Way! Am Canadian." Would be horrified haha. Blood pudding and fermented fish. Finland? Sweden? Sweden has it at least. Our wildlife is not trying to kill us. I'm fairly sure geese are at the very least plotting. Eating with our hands. In 1969, the same year the man landed on the moon. Miss Gloria Diaz coveted the Philippines' first Miss Universe crown. During the preliminary Q&A, she was asked, "Is it true that you Filipinos use your hand when you eat?" To which she replied, "Why? Do you use your feet?" and went her way to winning the crown. This isn't limited to the Philippines. People, especially those of Indian descent, eat with their hands in Malaysia. And it's also extremely common in Saudi Arabia as well. The cracks that are just wide enough to be able to see in and out of public restroom stalls. United States, I've heard it's thought of as weird since many other countries enjoy the luxury of privacy. My senior year of high school was the year the school finally installed doors on the bathroom stalls. It was 2007. What the actual FK? Where are you from? Tax not included in advertised price. Yeah, I find this so weird. Vegemite. Leaving your baby alone outside for their nap, even if it rains or snows. A short while ago they stopped selling alcohol after 10 p.m. At some stores you couldn't even get non-alcoholic beer. What's weird though is that wine is not considered alcoholic drink so you can buy it anytime. Welcome to Moldova winking face. Marrying someone without knowing them and only seeing their face once the marriage is agreed on. Saudi. In university we thump the tables to applaud our professors. Instead of actually applauding. Or doing nothing. During my exchange semester everyone not from Germany was looking at me confused why I did this. See as a term of endearment. Context dependent. See text. Bagged milk. I know it's normal in some places but not here in the UK. Strangers sitting totally naked skin to skin in a steamy room heated to +80 to +100 C. And as having competitions on who can last the longest in there. And as a consequence of that, having seen 90% of my friends naked, regardless of gender. Also coworkers. We have matrimonial ads in newspapers and sites to find grooms and brides which I think don't happen in Western countries and they find it strange. The ads are mostly published by parents. It's like Tinder supervised by parents. India? Tindia. Can't be angry at this one. In my friend's country, Easter is when gangs of boys roam the countryside, pouring water over girls and beating them gently with sticks. The girls then have to thank them for it. I thought that was pretty weird. Edit, she's from Slovakia. Some random drunk old guy hit Maya with a stick in Prague on Easter 2 years ago. That explains it. Did you thank him for it winking face? In the Philippines, it would be people living with their parents. Everybody I know whose parents' homes are in the city choose to live there. With the relatively low wage to cost of living ratio, it is not unusual for married couples to share houses with their in-laws. I work remote and I still live with my parents and pay zero rent. Of course, I pay all the bills, feed them and do all the home repairs and chores. Calling mixed-race people coloreds. I am from South Africa and I am colored, but when I went on holiday in Spain. Colored is a derogatory term, but in South Africa it's completely normal. Eating biscuits and gravy. I traveled to the UK and told them that biscuits and gravy is a very common breakfast food, and as you would expect they were highly confused. Biscuit equals cookie across the pond, why we would take something sweet and cover it in gravy. And also was confused that the gravy we use has sausage in it and is white. B&G is the food of the gods. Legal drinking age of beer and wine is 16. Hey, I'm visiting Germany and found that out a few days ago. I wonder what happens if I get drunk in Germany. And still drunk when I land. What would happen to me? Edit, not attempting to try this at all, just curious. The whole plane would shake their heads in disappointment of their youth. I am sure. Eating pasta every day. I think, yes, I am Italian. Everyone rags on the US for using imperial. But can we talk for a second about how weird we are here in the UK for using both inconsistently? You buy a pint of milk or beer. But a liter of Coke and 25 milliliters of whiskey, people know how many miles to the gallon their cars get. But you buy fuel at pence per liter. You watch the weather forecast and the temperature is in Celsius but the wind speed is in miles per hour. Most people can tell you their weight in kilograms. And their height in feet. And if they can't give you kilograms, they can probably give you stone instead. Which is even older than pounds. Which nobody uses as a unit of measurement. Probably because of the confusion between lbs and pound. It's a glorious mess. Washing your BU hole after taking a crap. Putting chips in our burgers. Edit, I'm referring to the British version, fries in America but fatter. I know it isn't the same. But we are occasionally known to line up French fries in our burgers here too. Go to Pittsburgh where they put fries on their F-King salads. Drinking beer before 12 o'clock and seeing it as part of the culture. Australia? My Aussie flatmate always used to say 1 before 10 or 10 before 1. Being middle class with a property having a 6-foot wall. Electric fencing linked to an alarm. Automated gate and garage doors with security clamps over the gate motor to prevent theft of the motor. Security gates over every door. Burglar bars. And a house alarm system with infrared sensors linked to armed response with a reaction time of under 3 to 4 minutes. Being left off of maps. Kiwi, eh? In my country you bike everywhere. Cars aren't used much. For longer distances you mostly use train and public transport. Also being 6 foot is normal. Yeah. Your capital city has more bikes than people living there, like WTF. Sprinkles on buttered bread is made by fairies and is perfect for kids' parties. And anything negative said about said treat is sacrilegious. Haggleslag is still my favorite childhood school vacation memory. Deep-fried Mars bar. Edit, I'm from New Zealand. For those asking, these are usually sold in fish and chip shops. I don't know why, but teenagers from my place, Vietnam, like to put hot sauce on everything. Like pizzas, chips, French fries, spaghetti, rice, cakes, hamburgers, anything you can think of. My husband was Vietnamese this whole time. Cheese curds and gravy over fries. Having a garbage can in the bathroom for used toilet paper. That's actually really common in a lot of countries. A lot of sewer systems can't handle toilet paper. Calling them all chips, not crisps, hot chips or anything else. Just chips. Except you wedges, you can have a different name. Edit, sometimes at Macca's or Hungry Jack's and other fast food places call them fries, but F of fast food, they're chips. I'm from the USA and my girlfriend is from Singapore. The amount of pumpkin we consume practically frightens her. Can confirm. Wife is inhaling all the pumpkin things. Pharmaceutical commercials. This could only be the US. Right? I'm from the UK. And the idea of adverts for anything but things like over-the-counter cough medicine or other non-essential medication seems absolutely bizarre. Do you go to the doctors and say, well, I've heard about this great X medicine and I'd like to try it for my X problem? Can you write me a prescription? How does it even work? Over here I just tell the doctor my issue and they decide which medication I get. Which almost always will be a generic and branded one. I pay the £9 prescription charge and off I go. Men wear skirts even when it's pouring outside. Which is all the time. I loved visiting your country. Still kicking myself for never trying Earn Brew. Which is supposedly amazing and the next most Scottish drink there is next to whiskey.